Raise your hand if you're falling asleep. Okay, good. Because I'm going to need a better applause than that. Come on, turn it up, man. There's something special about each and every one of you. And I'm going to point that out right now, very simply. There's a difference between winners and losers. There's a difference between people who succeed and don't even try to succeed. I'm not even going to get in that point yet. I want to go into this segue really fast. I have this quote that says, people who don't do anything talk about the people that do. Everybody here is a doer. So people are going to talk about us. I get on the internet and I don't know, I got 100-something thousand followers or something like that on Twitter. People talk to me all day long and they talk about me and they talk negative to me. I don't respond to any of them. I don't have time. I'm too busy doing. I understood that people, if you ever look on the internet and look at who's having these conversations about other people, you go click on their bio, there's no website, there's no business. I had this running joke, favorite sports team in the bio. Anytime you see pronouns or favorite sports team in the bio, avoid, hit the block button. Favorite sports team in the bio, I always go back to saying, if you got your favorite sports team in your bio, you're not a man, you're a fan. A man should have his business in his bio, his aspirations, his goals, his dreams, not some other man's team. Shit, the fucking leagues don't even give a shit about you. As a fan, all they care about is filling the stands. So I just do. There's a lot of problems in this world. People, they talk about the problems all damn day. When they come to me, they ask me, Hotep Jesus, what's going on with the world? You know what my response is? I don't give a fuck. It ain't gonna change. The only thing you could change is what's in your 360 degrees, what's in your cipher, what's in your sphere. And in however powerful your sphere is, it's going to radiate and touch the next person, and touch the next person, and touch the next person. And that's how you change the world. You don't go and start talking about Donald Trump or whatever other distraction is out there, because you're feeding that agenda energy. You're feeding a distraction energy. Where attention goes, energy flows. So now I'm gonna get back to my original point. That was the segue. It just came to my mind. I had to tell you guys that. So what's the difference between y'all and everybody else? What's the difference between people who succeed and people who don't? People who try to succeed and people who don't? I'll tell you what, it's called showing up. Showing up. You know how many people in this world don't show up? Opportunities come and they don't show up. People ask me, Hotep Jesus, how did you get to where you are? I showed up. My big claim to fame was I got recruited by 50 Cent. I had a blog. My blog was doing millions of hits a month. I did an article on his new energy drink coming out. We were pressed, so I got invited to a lot of events. I got invited to the launch event for his energy drink. I showed up. Then I showed my ass. That's the second part to it. But you gotta at least show up. Now, when I got there, I got on the bus. It was a double-decker bus, you know, the New York City double-decker buses. So I called myself slick. I tried to get in the front because I knew that's where 50 was gonna sit. Security comes on the bus. They're like, hey, sir, you gotta move. God damn it. So I moved to the back or the mid. 50 gets on the bus. Everybody's ready to go. Bus pulls off. It's eerily quiet. I hear the city, New York City, but the bus is eerily quiet. Now, I was a touring artist. I was a touring rapper. So I'm not afraid of crowds and stages and stuff like that. So I said to myself, I should just jump up and yell. I'm on the bus with 50 Cent. Then the other side of me said, nah, you're gonna get kicked off the bus. And I said, bitch, we broke, who cares? So I got up, I said, yeah, I'm on the bus with 50 Cent. And mad people started rushing the bus, you lying. 50 stood up, they started throwing energy drinks out the side of the bus, blah, 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 blah. Next thing you know, they're like, you, come here. Pull me back to the front of the bus. I said, I tried to sit here when I got on the bus. God damn it. So they pulled me to the front, they threw the hat on me, they threw the shirt on me. And then I did the whole execution. Da, 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 da. Every time the bus stopped, I got up, I did my thing. They were recording video, 50's cracking jokes, I'm cracking jokes with 50. And then that night was an after party. So they said, yo, you want to come to the after party? I'm black, ain't I? Yeah, I want to go to the fucking after party. Open bar. So they were mixing energy drinks with alcohol, so uppers and downers. Make a long story short, when I got home at 6 o'clock a.m., I couldn't sleep, but I was sleepy. Craziest feeling ever. Whatever. Had business cards from all those people that were on that bus. I was calling, I'm broke. Hey, yo, y'all need somebody to work? Y'all need somebody to work? Nothing. Everybody asked me, yo, what happened with the 50 thing? Don't worry, it's gonna happen. Didn't hear nothing. A month went by, I finally got a phone call. They said, yo, we want to fly you out to Chicago. Word? I'm there. Went out to Chicago. It was Chris Lighty, 50 Cent, whole team. And I was the MC. Smashed it, killed it, did my thing. Then we had a dinner. They invited me. I smashed that, so they invited me to dinner with 50 Cent. I'm at the dinner table with all these millionaires, rich execs, Deepak Chopra. And in the middle of the dinner, 50 Cent turns to me and he goes, you're a genius. I was like, damn, I'm humble. It's a crazy experience because 10 years prior, I hung a picture of G-Unit, 50 Cent with these stacks of money and guns, stacks of money. And I said, that's what I want for my life. And 10 years later, I manifested that. I was working with 50. So they said, yo, if you want a job, come up with a marketing plan. Marketing was my thing. That's what I did. So I went and got some homies that were from New York. We lit up a whole lot of flour. And I asked them, tell me about New York. And I started writing a marketing plan. I was asking them questions. And by the time I was done smoking that blunt, the marketing plan was done. I went back to my laptop, typed it up all professional. Then I grabbed some energy drinks and I went to Zuccotti Park during Occupy Wall Street. And I saw Russell Simmons there and Lupe Fiasco and a whole bunch of other celebrities, Ben and Jerry's. And I took pictures with all of them with the energy drink. And then I went to the office to do my presentation. And then they saw the pictures of Russell Simmons. They saw my marketing plan. And they were like, jaws dropped. Dude asked me, can you start right now? I said, hell yeah. Back in my mind, I'm like, yeah, bitch, we broke. We start right now. Right? A few weeks later, I'm sitting in a meeting and my boss is running over some marketing idea. And I'm like, I don't get what's going on. She said, Brian, this is your plan. And I said, oh, my plan. Oh. The office was running the entire national marketing campaign off of my 5 pages of documents. That was my big start in marketing. I got polished up by this lady named Alix, Kathy, and that's where I really got my marketing polish in. Before, I was just very crude marketing. We already did the national thing. I've gone viral, and I had a lot of followers on Twitter. I did all that stuff, but that was where I got polished and understood what was going on with experiential marketing. Then I left that shit. I launched a brand with Carmelo Anthony. He's an asshole. Then I was working with TV personalities. I had a friend over at BET. So we were working with TV personalities, a lot of NDAs. What I found out with them was they were very insecure. Fear was holding them back. I'm talking about like has-beens on TV, like they were popping at their height. and they're trying to get back pop and they still got a name, but they were afraid to be reintroduced and how they were reintroduced. Whatever. So I was saying to these people, let's go into the mobile space, mobile apps. This is like 2012, 2013. I'm like, this space is gonna explode. Let's go into mobile apps. Nobody got it. So I said, you know what? Screw y'all. I'm gonna go into that field. So I found the people, I went in there, and years later now, I'm a founder of 4 tech startups: Coinbase app, Wazo AI, Jiffitize, and CronArc. CronArc is my latest acquisition. Damn, now I gotta tell that other story. All right, so check this out. When I moved into the mobile app space, I got hired by these 2 rich white girls, Rockefeller Center. Money, I'm talking big money. Daddy was bankrolling the business. I made a tweet go viral. They got more downloads from my one tweet than they've ever gotten in a week. One day. I show up to work the next day thinking I'm gonna be the champ. Like, got my swag, well, yeah, I did it. They're like, Brian, how come we got all these downloads? Where'd these downloads come from? I said, the tweet. They said, no, it can't be from that. I said, holy shit, I know. Can you go find out where these came from? So I spent half a day pretending like I was looking for it. Dumb broads. So I left that situation. Then I went to another company, gaming company, mobile app. And I immediately saw what was broken. If anybody knows anything about Facebook ads, you have these things called pixels. Well, you have different sets of conversions. You have like conversions, you have click, you can go based upon purchases, you can go based upon add to carts. Well, what happens is every time somebody hits add to cart, they go into a cohort, and then Facebook can create a lookalike audience and do auto-targeting for you based upon these parameters. They do their little magic CIA spy thing and serve your ads to the right people. So I said, yo, our purchase conversions is broken. We should probably throw that in there. Talked to the dev. The dev said, yeah, we got to wait a month before I push that out. So I told the dude, founder, I said, you probably don't want to run ads until he puts that in. No, just run the ads. You want to spend $2,500 a day? Yeah, go ahead, do it. 30 days passed. We're at negative 99% ROI. I got one campaign at negative 90%. Just fucking working my ass off. And he said, Brian, why aren't these things working? Well, I learned from my experience of working in corporate America, you got to put shit in writing. So I wrote an email. Motherfucker, y'all motherfuckers need to add the goddamn purchase conversions. Week goes by. Brian, how come the thing? I'm gonna write another fucking email. I guess corporate motherfuckers like emails. Wrote the same shit a different way. App updates. Purchase conversions are in. I'm at home looking at the analytics, knowing a new update coming. Boom! $25,000 in revenue overnight. I said, yeah, motherfucker. Coming to work next day. Brian, how come all these explosions came in? I said, the purchase conversions went in the update. The guy said to me, nah, that can't be it. I said, oh, not again. Not again. Oh my God. Yes, that's it. No, Brian, can you go figure it out? Oh my God, all right. So I spent another half a day pretending like I was looking for this shit. Wrote another fucking email and told him that was it. He said, nah, that wasn't it. I left that situation. You know what I learned? Fuck them. That's what I learned. Go get your own. Start your own company. If you know what you're doing, start your own company. Stop selling your labor to somebody else. I was getting cash, 6-figure salaries. What I realized with that 6-figure salary doesn't come with power, doesn't come with decision-making power. It doesn't come with trust. You're just an employee to these people. But when you're on the board, when you're on the cap table, these are different conversations you're having with these people. So I said, you know what? From now on, when I talk to companies, I don't want your money unless you pay me in Bitcoin. I want on the cap table. Don't talk to me unless you're going to put me on a cap table. So then I started acquiring companies. And what I found out was that now I was having meaningful conversations with founders. Showing up. How many segues did I go to? Showing up. I knew this girl. She had this amazing writing talent, amazing speaking talent. I mean, when she analyzed things, she analyzed them and articulated them better than anybody. She had a YouTube account, 2 videos on there. I would watch these YouTube videos over and over again, just to like grasp on what she was saying. I would read her writing, like, wow, this is like the best thing ever. But she only had 2 pieces of writing in 2 videos. And I'm like, why don't you just keep going? Keep showing up. The YouTube channel will grow. But you know what happens and what stops people? It's fear and doubt. Y'all all know that. Fear and doubt starts getting in the way. You start questioning how people might judge you. You're judging yourself. And all these arbitrary details that don't matter. Either you want to win or you want to be somebody's bitch. Those are just the facts of the matter. I do a Saturday class called the Mogul Summit. Entrepreneurs flood into this Zoom meeting we have, and I walk them through all their problems every week. I had this one lady show up. She said, hey, I want to start a podcast. I said, all right, cool. When are you going to start it? Oh, well, I'm going to get the equipment and get this and that and this and that and third. And so I said to her, oh, so you're going to start today? She said, well, I kind of want to plan and do this. I said, no, you're going to start the podcast today. You're going to record it with your phone, with whatever it is. You're going to start today. She was so worried about the perception of things. If you start the podcast today, you know who's going to listen to it? Nobody. So what are you afraid of? One of my other students did a deep dive into me. And she went back to the first podcast of Hotep's Been Told You. And she said when she saw our first podcast, she said, what the hell are they doing? I was recording it on my iPhone. We were streaming live from my iPhone with like the earbuds connected. And I'm having to like lean over a little bit so I don't pull it out. But we were up and running. We showed up. I think we just passed 150 episodes or something like that. And we generating $1,000 an episode, right? That's small money, but it's a lot more than most people are making for a podcast, right? But we kept showing up. We just kept showing up. It'll grow. You'll fix. You'll optimize over time. You see, business is about starting and experimenting. It's very much like a scientific experiment. You got to draw your theory, your hypothesis, analyze, then check the conclusion, right? Then rinse and repeat. So I say in business, just start. How many people have their own business here? How many people don't have their own business here? How many people want to have their own business here? How many people are going to start their new business on Monday? If you don't have a business, raise your hand. You're starting Monday. Raise your hand, you're starting Monday, bro. What's your business?
I would like to get a food truck going.
A food truck? Oh, you might not be able to start Monday. But you can. Start with a menu. Do you have the menu?
Yeah.
You got the menu.
Yeah.
What's stopping you? What's the next step?
Funds, food truck, passing the inspection, stuff like that. It's
How many customers you got? Get customers before you get the product. That's another trick in business. Get the customers before you got the product. Start an email list. Food truck coming near you. Talk to the different corporations. Say, hey, da-da-da-da. What you might be able to do is find a corporation that'll finance the truck in exchange for advertising. Tell them wrap the truck. Pay for the truck, wrap the truck, and this truck will travel across whatever the area is for a whole year. So Monday, what are you going to do? You're going to start your list of corporations, and you're going to say, hey, look, I want to start this food truck business. Here are the areas I'm going to hit. Here's the potential people that might see your ad on this thing. Maybe get a graphic designer to draw up some mocks and start pitching them and make them pay for the shit. Other people's money. It's another thing you got to learn in business. When you ain't got no money, use other people's money. People be like, how you got 4 tech startups? You got that much money? Hell no, I'm broke, bitch. I use other people's money. I got a good friend, Jeff Curtis, NASCAR engineer. He invested in my businesses. Fucking love that guy, man. But you got to start. If you have a business idea and you've been holding on to it and you're not moving it forward, you just bullshit, really. Or you might not know how to get there. And that might be your problem. How do I get there to the food truck spot? You ever heard of a ghost kitchen?
Yeah, I looked into it.
Start with the ghost kitchen. You know what I mean? It's a little bit cheaper, but what you want is people get familiar with your menu. Maybe start with the catering. But get people familiar with your food. Most of the food truck stuff happens like near colleges or corporations, right? Right. So start there. Start catering to them. Ghost kitchen it. Where's my dude? Him right there. Raise your hand. Yeah, you. Clap it up for him. Yeah, that's my homie right there. He comes to me last night and he asked me, he wants to be an entrepreneur. He asked me, he said, Hotep Jesus, were you born an entrepreneur or did you learn it? Like, I was born a hustler. I was born a hustler. I got to be honest, I was. In high school, I had 3 lockers. You were assigned 1. I had 1 locker in the old building, 1 in the main hallway where everybody hung out, including the hot girls, and I had 1 in the new building. What I would do every year when somebody left, I'd say, yo, what's your combination? So when a new class came in the next year, I'd open their locker, walk away, they'd change it, and now that's my locker. The main hallway, I was selling spritzes of cologne. But it was an experience because I had Tyra Banks in the Victoria's Secret on the inside. So after gym class, you came, you hand me $1, I spray you down with some cologne. I had all the dope cologne, curve, whole nine. I had a printing business. I was doing printing business cards. I built my first website in 1997. I built my first e-commerce website in 1998 for a client. I sold mortgages until the housing crisis. Yeah, I caused it. I really did. I was young, man. They were telling us, hey, just go sell this. I didn't know what the fuck I was selling. It was like a cozy loan, 1% deferred interest. I'm like, I don't know what the fuck that means. But hey, lady, I got this cool new loan. You're going to love it. She bought it, lost her house. I didn't know what I was doing. I made money. 1998, everybody wanted to be a rapper. I wanted to be the record label owner. So I had my own record label. I was hustling. I used to sign up for college classes just to hustle college kids out of their money. I was selling things that maybe I shouldn't have sold. I was selling shoes. I would drive down to the outlet, because Timberlands, black folks love some Timberland boots. The outlet had them for $70. I could hock them for $1.25. So I drive down to the outlet, grab them, come back. I was selling shoes like that. They didn't know what was going on. They thought I was, I had a hookup. So I was born a hustler. So he asked me, well, can somebody learn? And I said, yeah, if you learn from the right hustler. Now, I have this ability that came through practice, and I call it hyper self-consciousness. I do checks and balances on myself all the time, evaluating. How could I have done that better? How could I, if me and him are talking and we're talking, don't look in that space while I'm talking, motherfucker. It's like, if me and him are having a conversation, after the conversation, I'm evaluating, did I give him my full attention? Did I add value to that conversation? I'm always doing checks and balances on myself. Hyper self-consciousness. So through hyper self-consciousness, I'm able to see what it is that actually makes me a great hustler. So I wrote a book called Dominate Twitter. The funny thing is, every time somebody buys it, they go, bro, this book has nothing to do with Twitter. I'm like, you're absolutely right. It's everything I ever learned about business development and marketing. I suggest everybody get a copy. And I'm not saying that just to plug it. I'm saying that because if you don't have a business and you want to get it up, this has everything you need in there, from website to SEO to marketing strategy. So as he asked me, can the non-hustler learn from the hustler? The problem is sometimes what they do is they copy the hustler, but then you become a carbon copy. I didn't want people to become carbon copies of me, so I created algorithms. So when you read my book, it's not telling you my style, it's telling you how to think, not what to think, how to think. A psychologist bought my book. He said to me he bought 5 courses on Twitter from some of the biggest people in money Twitter and my book. And he said, my book was better than all of them combined. This is a psychologist. And he said, I wish I would have read this when I was 20 because it's very meta. That's the word he used. It's meta. When I work with people, I work on the subconscious mind. That's where the real operations are happening with human beings. The subconscious mind. So when I deal with marketing, I teach them how to be a hustler. I'm showing you how to work on people's subconscious mind. I'm showing you how to think like a hustler and not what to think as a hustler. Because then I'd just be turning you into another me, and I didn't want that. So I had a student, Coach Joe Hart. He buys my book. He's the only person, again, showing up. He's the only person that reached out to me after buying my book. He said, yo, I got some questions. What's up? Sat in the toilet in the bathroom, smoking on some weed. And I answered his questions, all of them. Then he came back and said, hey, I'll take you out to lunch. Pick my brain some more. Well, he texts me all the time now. And the latest text, this is 2018 we started. The latest text, he's at $949,000. We're counting down to him making $1 million. If you don't believe me, I'll call him right now. He'll probably pick up too. Don't test me. But I got the screenshots on my phone. He always hits me up. Yo, we're inching closer. The funny thing about Coach Joe Hart was, if you would have asked me, would I bet on him succeeding then? I'd have told you, hell no, this dude's not going to win. He had no swag. He was so swaggerless. I'd be in the chat with him and talking to him, and I'd be like, yo, there's no hope for this guy. But you know what he had? He had drive, and he'd listen, and he understood. He read Dominate Twitter. But he had something that makes your product scale. It's called product market fit. Raise your hand if you ever heard that term before. Okay. Product market fit. Product market fit is when the product fits perfectly with the market. For example, the best place to sell drugs is to a bunch of crackheads. The best place to sell beer is to a bunch of alcoholics. It's product market fit. It's going to scale. They're going to keep buying. Women, they can't help but shop. Got to find that product market fit. Coach Joe had a product that fit perfectly with the market, so it scaled really fast. What he had was, his first product offer was how to flip on eBay. It's like a $20 investment or something like that. But then he said, people kept asking him, well, what should I sell? So he started up a monthly membership where he tells you every month what's the hottest things to start flipping on eBay to do the arbitrage. So people started signing up, because if you know what to sell on eBay, that's 90% of the battle, really. Because you want to know what's going to turn a profit and how much is that profit going to be. And if you have somebody feeding you that on the daily, you win. The product fit perfectly with the market. So all the eBay guys are buying from him. And he's telling them, here's what's hot right now. These baseball cards, if you get these baseball cards, you'll win. Get this, Here's where to find that. So it scaled and he went to $1 million. Product market fit. So then Coach Joe shows up at the Mogul Summit on Saturdays. And he's big money now. So he said, yeah, I just hired a marketing agency. And I said, oh, fuck. Never hire a marketing agency, people. Hire an ad agency that's going to create content. They happen to be like $500,000 contracts or better, like Havas, great company. Droga 5 is another ad company. I used to work on Madison Ave, so I studied this stuff. Droga 5, I love the content they create. You might have seen them do like Gatorade ads. But he hired a marketing company. I said, that's a bad move, Joe. Nah, they're going to do this, they're going to do that, they're going to do this, they're going to do that. And I said, you're going to be disappointed. No, I'm not. Okay. I let a month go by. He came back. I said, Joe, how's that marketing company going? He put his head down. I said, it's not going like you planned. Yeah. So he told the whole class, when Hotep Jesus speaks, you listen. What I told him was, I think he spent like 40 grand with this marketing company. I said, Coach Joe, if you want to scale this business with 40 grand, you know what I would have done? I probably would have spent 10K on each piece of content. I would have got like the latest hot supercar, a video guy, and spun that thing around the track, got out the car and be like, yeah, buy your eBay products from me, right? Make content. Anybody know Red Bull? Yeah, you guys know Red Bull, right? It's some of the best marketing ever. What business are they in? They're in the business of content creation. They got guys doing snowboarding, doing backflips, BMX. It's all content. All of it is content. They have a whole content studio. They even create experiences like the DJ battle. Did you guys know they have a DJ battle? Red Bull has a DJ battle? Yeah, they got a DJ battle. So they're creating experiences to really immerse the brand. When you look at DraftKings, when DraftKings was first created, great marketing in the very beginning. They created these huge experiences for the people in the industry. So instead of hiring some agency to do some menial tasks, you could have took each task and hired one consultant that's an expert in it. Some kid off of the internet, off Twitter, who's going to charge you a fraction of the price to handle those little menial tasks while you take the big spend and make content that people love. I told him another piece I would have did was skydiving. I would have jumped out of an airplane. I would have got some hot chicks and did something else, right? And when he heard it, he was like, yeah, that would have been more fun. If you're not having fun in your business, there's a problem. You got to figure out how to have fun and make money at the same exact time. Moral of the story is, drink beer when you talk. Any questions?
One of my biggest fears about finding investors for my business is that the perception I get is that investors want control, or they'll lie that, no, you do your thing, and then they step in later and be like, well, we want you to change the way you're marketing this or the material of that, so we just need you to do this. How do I find investors that are just like completely hands off and then...
That question's a little weird because you don't want an investor that's completely hands off.
Really?
No. You want an investor who has an in your market.
Okay.
Right? So if you sell toys, you want him to have a connection to Amazon or something like that where he can get you in manufacturing. You want him in. You want to vet them based upon like personality. Like if after we talk and feel them out. Read him. Does it seem like a cool guy, blah, blah, blah. And then tell him your fears, right? Okay. You got to be blunt with these guys and say, what my biggest fear with investors is? Y'all motherfuckers gonna tell me how I'm gonna run my business. Are you gonna do that? Right? Like, ask them. The other thing about investors is they want to know that you actually have some revenue. If you have an ROI, it's easier to get their money. If you have a negative ROI, it's gonna be a lot harder. They're still gonna want to see some revenue, at the very least, proof of concept, right? Where are you in the product?
The conceptualizing phase.
What is it?
The name of the company, the branding, the logo, the website.
None of that shit matters.
Gotcha.
Names, logos. I'm serious. That's not. So what's the product?
Suits, furniture, and sporting wear.
Suits, furniture, and
sporting wear.
Sporting wear? What the fuck? That's a lot of different demographics. You're gonna need a lot of,
Later, like 10 years.
yeah?
It's a one-stop shop for men. Basically, you get all the clothes, furniture that they would ever need.
All right, you're gonna have a problem, and I'm gonna fix it right now. What's the inception story for Amazon?
Books.
Gotta start there. Before you start selling everything, get good at selling one thing. One thing. Ties. Socks. Shoes. Blazers. Start small. Get the market. Once you get the market, you can sell them whatever the hell you want. But get traction in the market before you try to do the whole one-stop shop thing. Get the traction. You know what I'm saying? Names are cool and all that stuff, but one thing I wanted to tell y'all was what marketing is, what branding is. I meant to tell you this. Branding equals consistency plus reputation. Consistency plus reputation equals branding. When you start dealing with colors and logos on that shit, that's like the female version of branding. Branding is me every time I speak, I have a beer in my hand. That's branding, the consistency. When I first started streaming, I would always wear this blue robe. Always wore the blue robe. People like, yo, he comes on the internet in his bathrobe. So to check myself, to see if I was branding, one day I took it off. And people go, where's the robe? You know what I'm saying? That's branding. I knew then I was branding. You know when you're branding when you take something away. Branding is if somebody can't dress up as you for Halloween, you ain't branding. If I said, if somebody walked in a room dressed like Nicki Minaj, you say, oh, they look like Nicki Minaj. Or if you seen somebody walk in a room with a big clock around their neck, you'd be like, oh, that's like Flavor Flav, right? That's why Flavor Flav is so popular, because he branded. Put branding before marketing. I'm gonna tell you what marketing is in a second. Put branding before marketing. Branding is everything. I don't market, I brand. People say, oh, he's a great marketer. Yeah, sure, I brand. That's what makes me great, branding. Now let's talk marketing. Marketing equals uniqueness. What makes you different from everybody else in the market? That's what marketing is. If somebody asks you what's marketing, say uniqueness. You don't need to say what your product does. You need to say what it does that everybody else doesn't do. That's uniqueness. Now, under marketing, you got the 4 Ps, product, price, placement, packaging, right? But what are those things? So the second piece to marketing is, it is actually the product. People see ads on TV and they say, oh, that's great marketing. No, that's great advertising. What's marketing, I'll tell you, my professor, I took a marketing course. I might have hustled a couple of college kids there. He said he worked for DuPont, contract for DuPont, and they wanted to sell more laundry detergent. So he looked at the ingredients on the laundry detergent, and one of them said antibacterial. So he came back to him, he said, yo, take the word antibacterial, call it antibacterial soap. It's a new product now. So they put out on the shelf, antibacterial. Moms went out and bought it because they thought they were going to save the kids from COVID or whatever the fuck they're scared of. Right? But meanwhile, the product already had that. So that goes back to uniqueness of the product, but the 4 Ps, under the 4 Ps is packaging. Packaging is very important. The dude that was up here before me, Aaron, his packaging is great. Pause, no homo, not that package. His packaging is great. His branding is great, right? That's marketing. Questions? Yes?
Those 4 Ps again? What were the 4 Ps again?
Product, price, placement, and packaging. Placement's very important too. You see that a lot when you go to the store and they got the stuff right by the POS, point of sale. You know, that last moment, that's the placement of where these products go. Yeah, you want to put stuff where it makes sense. And a lot of times that helps too. People always ask me, what's the best social network to market on? Or I always say Twitter. I think that's the best place. Not for everything, But Twitter, I believe, is the best. It's the hardest, but it's the best. Any more questions?
So you want to start selling something, and you're thinking all the technical stuff as far as I have a business, I have how do I keep this business running, logistics of a business. How do you not let that stop you from actually doing business? Cart before the horse. I'm selling a product. Let's say, I get on Facebook and I market it somehow. I say, hey, if you're interested in old models, okay, great. But now I've got a business to run. I got to get these products in place. I got to get shipping and set all that kind of stuff. How do you not let that get stuck in the minutia of running a business to the point where you go, this is too much. This is too much.
So I tell my students, never work. Don't work. If you're working, you're going to deal with what you're talking about. Oh my God, this is too much. Don't work. The funny thing about business is there's probably only one or two things within your business that actually increase the bottom line. The hard part is finding out what those are. Once you find out what those are, you hammer on those and you do those, right? So for me, I am the product. The machine behind me is my brain. So the only thing I have to do is train my brain. So I'm training to be a chess master, and I read books all the time, right? So I'm filling my brain with knowledge, and I'm an author. I'm about to publish my third book. Rollo Tomasi just finished the cover. It's fucking amazing. It's called The Patriot Report. It's going to be an expose on United States history, on money and war. Did a lot of research on that. Read lots of 600,000 page books. Don't want to do it again. But I know that for me, when I wake up, I only want to do one thing. What's the one thing that's going to increase my bottom line? For most businesses, it's like email marketing. If you're not email marketing, like, you got to go get a life. So focus on, like, what's that one thing? And whatever annoys you, you contract out. Again, don't do any work. Get somebody else. Get a volunteer, get an intern, pay somebody, take a hit. If you're making money, maybe just break even to hire someone, because peace of mind is worth more than the actual dollar. That's what I learned. Like, I'm broke at the end of the year. Like, seriously, I get rid of all the money because I don't want to say I'm taking this shit. So I just buy assets and people, right? But I hired an assistant, and she's like, I'm busy. All right, so you want me to send you another $1,000 so you won't be busy with somebody else's work, right? So it's just like, keep getting other people to do your work and hiring other people to do the stuff that you don't want to do. And they're probably better at it than you too, especially if they're experts. You know what I mean? Did that answer your question? Yeah. But usually in a business, man, like, it's only like one or two things that actually like turn the key. The other thing about business is most of the work is front loaded. Right? It's like, I got to get my website up, get my LLC, get the name, get this, get that, get the warehousing, the merchandising, blah, blah, blah. All that's done. And within like the first 30 days. And after that, it's just sell. So it's only annoying for the first 30 days. And after that, you have to figure out, what are the channels I'm using to actually drive revenue? Is it social media? Is it email? Is it ads? Is it a combination of two? And that's another thing where people, they might have 4 marketing channels. Maybe cut it down to 1. And really, like, that's what I did. People like, how you got 180,000 followers on Twitter? Because I didn't give a fuck about the other social networks. People like, what's your Facebook page? I ain't got one. What's your Instagram? I got one. I don't really use it. But I focused on one channel, and I knew it would work, because when you focus on one thing, it has to work. It's when you divide your time is where you divide your success. So you got to focus on the one channel. And I suggest that one channel outside of social media should be email marketing. Any other questions?
What are you reading now?
What am I reading right now? I'll tell you. This weekend, I'm almost done with Autobiography of Malcolm X. Before that, I was reading Murray Rothbard. I was reading a lot of stuff on the Mises website. Anthony C. Simpson, mostly like a lot of history books. Yeah. When I was younger, I read a lot of business books. I collected business books because I wanted to understand business, so I bought a lot of sales books. I bought like How to Negotiate from the Harvard Review. But yeah, mostly history books right now. I could pull my phone out and show you. Yeah. But right now, I decided to go back and read Autobiography of Malcolm X because I know I could read it faster than LeBron James. So I started reading that. And it's a pretty interesting read. I never read it. And as a black guy, that's pretty embarrassing. So I decided to take that in. But I have a lot of interesting books. I use the iBooks app. As you see, you just saw the cover pop up, right, to Malcolm X. So I'm almost done with that one. Wall Street and the Rise of Hitler. Outline of History is pretty good. I'm working my way through that. That's 1,000 pages, 1,100 pages in that book. All Presidents, Bankers, Will from Murder, Lusitania, Wall Street and FDR, Century of War, What to Eat and When by Stanley Clark. Yeah, I got a lot of books. Ladies and gentlemen, I am Hotep Jesus. Thank you for your time.